Hey everybody, Adam here, and just wanted to give a quick video in regards to how people get older and they feel like they're a part of the system. So you may watch your heroes and idols who, when they were younger in their 20s and 30s, they were seen as rebels. I mean, off the top of my head, I'm thinking of like a few examples. I don't really want to name names if I don't have to, but musicians come to mind, and punk rock. You know, there's whole brands of music and genre and culture that have been coined around or cemented upon telling the man off. You know, back, and it's not just our generation, but like back in the 60s, 70s, there was always like anti-war, anti-establishment. As we got older, it was more like, or sorry, as the years went on, it was more like big government. You know, there's always been big government protesters. You know, big small government advocates. People who have peered behind the curtain of big government or seen the machinations of how things really work, and then try to educate the masses. But you may notice, the same as I do, that your heroes and idols and people that you looked up to when you were younger seem to change as you get older. And you reflect back on when you were young and looking up to them, and you're thinking to yourself, were they always sellouts? Were they always like this? Were they useful idiots? Were they straw men? Were they controlled opposition? Or did they change as they got older? And I feel like it's not an easy answer. Sometimes it's a mix of both, but I feel like one reason that people change as they get older is obviously as a I'm speaking as a 41-year-old man, but as you get older, you get more entrenched, right? So, for example, me, I own a home, I have kids, I have savings account, credit cards, investment account, portfolio, physical assets, real assets. I have things that I feel like, okay, over my career, over my years and years of working, I have built up these assets. Most importantly, among all those, are basically my kids and my life insurance policy and my portfolio, right? Because if anything happens to me, all this stuff that I have is kind of useless to me, but to those I leave behind, it's useful. So, why do people change as they get older? I think one of the reasons that your heroes and your punk rocker heroes have changed as they got older is they begin to feel a part of the system. They begin to feel a part of the power structure, which is laughable at best and a joke. And it's a symptomatic thing of maybe they wanted to be a part of the power structure the entire time, which is a deeper question. Did psychologically did your heroes hate the man because they wanted to be the man? Do your punk rocker guys who wrote all those punk rock songs, do they really just have daddy issues? And they really wanted to be daddy. They were jealous of daddy. And as they got older, they became daddy and settled into being daddy and wound up worse than your daddy or worse than their daddy. You know what I mean? So some people see big government as dad. So people who have daddy issues rebel against the government. And then as they get older, they become dads. They become fathers. And it turns out they felt like now that they're fathers, they feel like a part of the structure, the power structure. This is some kind of deep psychological stuff, but you might be seeing the same thing that I'm seeing as you get older. Like, wait a minute, I thought that these guys were like, damn the man, and now look at them, like they're telling everybody they need to be force vaccinated or they should be murdered. Yeah. I have to get all the whatever vaccines the big government tells me so I can see their concerts. I thought that these guys were anti-government. These are just examples, but I think it's a combination of things, right? When you get into the business side of things, when you're running a business, a lot of the decisions are not yours to make. So your only decision is to take part or not take part, or to rebel or not rebel. And when you're dealing with a crew of bandmates, as far as music goes, I can understand how it could be a little bit more difficult when you're dealing with a tour manager or a label or venue regulations or local regulations. All of a sudden things start to get a little bit more gray than how they started out with you in your 20s of like damn the van. It starts to get a little bit more murky. You get down into the weeds of like, do you want to make money? Do you want the guys in your crew to make money? Do you want to obey the local laws wherever you wind up playing? So the last 3 years, I would say, in general, revealed people's true nature. And people could hide it for a while if you leaned far left or if you leaned far right. You could kind of keep some of that a secret. But the last 3 years kind of revealed the true nature of most everyone, including your friends and family. People that you thought were your friends or your family, all of a sudden were like, you can't come over unless you're triple dorked. Well, we're afraid that you're going to kill us with your evil disease. So we got to see firsthand the true nature, the true ugly nature of our fellow man this last 3 years. And, don't be shocked and don't be surprised. This is the way they were the entire time. They were just hiding it with pleasantries. But it doesn't surprise me. I knew it all along. The way that the true nature of people. So, why do your heroes change as you get older, as they get older? I think it's a combination of, they say either you live long enough to become a hero or you die a villain, or you die a villain or live long enough to become the villain. You die a hero? What is this, Frank? Let's look it up. I think it's from Batman, but I don't want to misquote it. The quote is specifically from Batman, Dark Knight, and uttered by Harvey Dent, played by Aaron Eckhart. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Yeah, I don't know who wrote that originally, but it's a great quote. And the point of it being, it's another take on the phrase of like, don't meet your heroes. Don't grow up. Don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your idols. You'd be shocked at the dirty humanity of all your idols, of all your heroes, or people that you idolize, be it in religious areas of life, or whether you think that these people are such great holy people, or charitable leaders, royalty. You would be shocked at the true nature of these people when no one's looking, when the cameras are off, and when they think that they're not being watched. So in my life, personally, I try my hardest through meditation and daily practice to be authentic. And people who know me know that I'm not changing who I am to be around certain people. And that is a personal decision that you have to make. So I would think that most people who met their idols would be sorely disappointed. So I would save you that disappointment and focus on making yourself the person that you would admire, and giving that person that you admire to your people and to the world and the larger group around you. So yeah, for more fun advice like that and hot takes, you can follow me on Twitter at adamjosh.com, or you can pre-order my book that I'm working on through my website on the shop section. It's a trailblazing book about investment strategy. As you may know, I am an investor, a musician, author, secret lover. I'm a lot of things, and I'm here drinking coffee. And I just thought I would give my take on the whole "don't meet your hero" situation and why it seems that your punk rock heroes from the 80s and 90s started to like lose it. I'm thinking of one or two examples off the top of my head. I really don't want to drop names, but it's hard not to. You know, drunk punk rocker railing on stage about like, I was there, man. I was there. You don't even know. I was there doing it, man. I was there in the 90s. You owe me. Like, wow. How the mighty have fallen. Another example off the top of my head is you can't come to our shows unless you're fully vaccinated. But damn the man. We won't do what he tells us. We won't do what he tells us. You're like... Anyway, follow me on Twitter at adamjosh.com. Take care. Bye-bye.